So, chocolate at 3 o'clock in the morning, hey?
Yeah, and here I am. Right, I've looked in every drawer, under every pillow, and I finally get the change together for the vending machine. And like 10 minutes later, she's crying into her pillow about how fat she is.
Well, if you think it's bad now, wait till the baby comes.
Possibly get any worse.
That's shocking. Terrible.
Right. Watch out.
Help me.
Right, now, what's wrong?
Help me. You've got to help me.
Right, calm down.
She's
Just
gone.
relax.
She's gone.
Relax.
I've looked everywhere.
Hey, who's gone?
Please, my baby. Someone's taken her.
Right, now, how long ago did you notice your baby was gone?
About 5 minutes ago. I was asleep for about an hour. I woke up and she wasn't here.
Where'd you last see a
In
child?
here, in a cot.
Okay, where were you?
I was on the bed.
Okay, and that's through here?
Yes. I got up to check her.
Mrs. Davies, you said you put your child on the cot.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't look like there's any forced entering.
What about your husband? Is there any chance he might have taken the baby without telling you?
No, he's working.
Have you checked with him?
No.
How can we contact him?
You'll get Warren on his mobile.
Here we go, boys.
It's all right, darling. We'll find her. We'll find her.
Megan, you were saying about the baby's clothes.
She had a pale yellow sort of jumpsuit on. She's got this wisp of dark hair. She's only 2 weeks old.
I'll fix you a drink.
Megan, do you have any idea who might have taken her?
No, I can't imagine.
Have you noticed anyone following you lately?
Following me.
Or just hanging around? Strangers?
No, I'm sorry, no one.
Who's been in the house recently?
It's me, Warren.
Detective, what are you planning to do about this?
Well, we're doing all we can, sir. Now, this is a very serious matter. I realise this is difficult, but would you mind telling me what you were doing this afternoon?
Yeah, well, I'm a freelance journalist with the Gazette. So this afternoon I was covering a cricket coaching clinic at the Oval.
Right. And what time did you leave, sir?
About 2 hours ago.
Did you come straight home?
Well, no, I dropped off a roll of film at the office on the way back.
Will anyone see you?
No. What's this got to do with it? Shouldn't we be out there looking?
Oh, we're doing all we can, sir. It might help us if we got a photo of young Bronwyn.
I'll get one.
Now, the crime scene boys will be here for a bit. Mrs. James.
Davies.
Sorry?
My wife, she goes by Davies. I kept her own name when we were married.
Oh, where are they? Bronwyn's photos! I can't find them!
Megan, don't get
No,
yourself so upset.
they're here somewhere!
Megan,
Where
Megan, we'll
are
get them
they?
later.
But you don't understand if I don't even have any photos!
They will turn up,
Megan,
okay?
the best thing you can do for your baby right now is if you come down to the station and make a statement.
Shouldn't I stay here? What if I find something?
What you need to do is let the experts go through this place and see what they can come up with.
What if they...
If anything happens, I will let you know personally, straight away. I promise.
Yes, hello, it's Constable Dashby Kinley from the Mount Thomas Police Station. I'm needing a list of...
Yeah, all right, PJ, let me know if there's anything else we can do.
Boss, Megan Davies and her husband Warren James, Sergeant.
Davies, Mr. James, we're moving as quickly on this as we can.
Thanks, Sergeant.
We'll need a full list of relatives, business associates.
Surely you don't think...
Well, we can't rule anything out at this stage. Cooper, show them through the PJ's office, will you? And arrange a cup of coffee for
Yep, this way, please.
The Warren James?
My word, 6 for 46, 75 not out against the West Indies.
Oh, it's only a country 11, mate.
Still.
Mind you, I often wonder why I didn't get into the stateside of the test team.
Too nice a bloke, not enough of a mongrel.
I'm sorry to interrupt the conversation, but boss, the disc office has come up with 2 possible suspects.
Oh, that one's moved into state. Be worthwhile talking to that one. Go with it, Nick.
Right, yeah, I bet you 2 pies from Barrett he wasn't enough of a mongrel.
Just go.
All right.
And you decided to have the baby at home?
Well, childbirth's not an illness.
No, maybe not. But things can still go wrong.
Sounds like you're an expert on the subject.
No, hardly. My wife and I have talked about it. She's pregnant.
Then you may know how we feel at the moment.
Warren and I tried for so long. We thought Bronnie had never arrived. Oh, dear God. She's due for a feed.
Come on, Meg.
Oh, God. She'll be hungry and she won't know where I am.
Mrs. Davies, do you breastfeed your baby?
No.
Well, that goes in our favour then. You see, we often find in these cases that the offender's some confused woman who's lost a child of their own. The last thing they want to do is see the baby suffer. They'll feed her.
Yes, you're right. Sorry. So, what did you decide? Your wife and your...
Oh, we compromised on a birthing centre at the hospital.
Oh, God, I just remembered. From his medicine. She's got a cold. She's got to have a medicine.
We'll find
God, where is
Excuse me, Miss Davies. Your sister's here to see you.
Megan, are you okay?
Erin, what are you doing here?
I called her. I thought you'd need some moral support.
Are you sure you're all right?
So, none of the neighbours saw anything?
No, it's the strangest thing. Nobody remembers seeing the baby at all.
Well, it was only 2 weeks old.
Yeah, but look, if it was my baby, I'd be very proud to show it off. Well?
So what about the crime scene? Dibs and dabs?
Nothing. No sign of a forced entry.
So what, somebody just walked in and stole the baby while the mother was sleeping?
Well, it's possible. Megan can't say for sure whether the front door was locked.
We should have a chat to them and get a few more details.
This is Karen Davies. She's come up from Melbourne to be with her sister. Yeah, this is Senior Detective Hasham and Constable Doyle.
Here you go.
Sergeant, is this a good time to talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
It's Megan. I hope this doesn't sound weird, but... has she made any mention of, aliens while she's been talking to you?
Aliens?
Yes, you know, from another planet, extraterrestrial. Megan hasn't been well for a long time.
You're talking about a psychiatric illness.
10 years ago, she was one of the most successful journalists in the country. And then she had this experience.
What sort of experience?
Started with coloured lights in the sky.
Oh, well, a lot of people believe they've seen UFOs.
But it went much further than that. Megan claims they kidnapped her. Ran medical experiments.
I do remember that. Now, there was this huge kerfuffle with her newspaper, wasn't there?
They warned her not to go public, but she went right ahead. Ruined her reputation as a serious journalist. She lost her job, everything. That's when she had a complete breakdown.
And you think she's headed for another one?
Yes, I do.
Karen, do you think that Megan might have done something to the baby?
I don't want to believe it.
But it's possible.
It is possible, yes.
Postnatal depression. I couldn't rule it out. A lot of mothers get depressed and irritable after childbirth.
But to the point of harming their children?
Yeah, but severe postpartum psychosis with the delusions and hallucinations and all that are pretty rare. Who's the patient?
A woman by the name of Megan Davies. You wouldn't know, would you?
No, she's not one of mine. But my new partner, Dr. Morris, is handling all the obstetrics now. You could ask him.
Rightio, we will.
So, have you considered the father?
Warren James? No, I wouldn't think so.
What, Warren James, the cricketer?
That's right, 6 for 46, 75, not out against the West Indies.
I didn't know he was living in the district. He had a great in-swinger.
You should follow the cricket, do you?
Yeah, I like all ball games. You should know that. Now, really, all that coursing testosterone can have a downside. Some fathers get quite jealous of a new baby.
I don't think so, Zoe.
If you can make an announcement once every hour, then...
Why not? Older guy, long childless marriage. He's used to getting all the attention, then bang, along comes the baby.
You're making him sound like a German shepherd.
Yeah, there's not much difference if you talk to Zoe Hamilton.
You can't rule him out just because he's some kind of cricketing legend.
Mate gets a point in his favour.
Yeah, what about the photos?
What about them?
Well, there weren't any in the house, were there?
Well, that is unusual. Remember how many I had when Sam was born?
Please, don't remind us.
Well, it fits with the jealous father scenario. I mean, flying into a fit of rage, going around the house destroying all the photographs.
No, I'm with Mick. Warren's not the type.
We can't rule out anything at this stage. Did you check them both out with the disc office?
Yeah. Warren's a big-time offender. He's got 2 speeding tickets.
And what about welfare groups?
Well, no one's approached any of them, but they'll contact us with that.
All right, I've been onto the media. 3 SDs on
The
site.
crime scene. Yeah, whereabouts? OK, we'll be right over. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, crime scene have found what they think could be a shallow grave in Megan and Warren's backyard.
sure you want to see this?
I have to know.
I think we can start looking for the baby.
It doesn't belong to me.
Well, who does it belong to?
I don't know. I've never seen it before. Why are we wasting time on this? Why aren't you out looking for my baby?
Megan, you have to understand, you see. Now, we have no photos, no birth certificate, no sighting of the baby, and this pregnancy gear.
I've told you, I don't know how it got there.
Megan, look at it from our point of view. After finding this, we've got to start thinking maybe there never was a baby.
It would just help us if there was some proof of the birth.
Proof? What possible reason would I have to lie about her? Oh, my God. You don't believe me, do you? You're not going to help me. You're going to call off the search.
No one said that.
Megan, there must be somebody who can back you up. A midwife?
Well, we didn't use one.
Well, you're saying you delivered this baby unassisted?
Well, my sister delivered the baby. She'll give you all the proof you need.
Poor Megan. It's been really hard for her. She and Warren have tried so hard to have a baby. It's been so many years.
You weren't there for the birth.
I suppose it's the difference in our age. Megan and I have never been close. Not in the sense that she'd want me there at the birth of her baby.
Did you ever see the baby?
I saw Megan pregnant.
You never actually saw it.
All I got was a phone call saying I was an aunt. I was going to come up and stay with them. It's only been 2 weeks. I didn't want to overtire her.
Did it ever occur to you that there might not be any baby?
Look, I'm sure there was a baby.
You never saw it, did you?
No.
Karen, you sure that's what she said?
Is there any reason why she'd want to contradict what you said?
I don't understand it. I'm telling the truth. I had the baby in my house. She was there. And Karen and Warren were helping me.
You've been a journalist, haven't you, Mrs. Davies? We've got conflicting evidence here. Now, what's this all about?
It's about finding my baby.
All right, so tell me about this alien contact of yours.
That has got nothing to do with this.
What do? Take you up in a spaceship, play around with your mind, experiments, that sort of thing?
Yeah, the woman's off her rocker. Don't believe a word she says.
Do you really think that aliens stole your baby?
No, I don't.
There is one way to sort all of this out.
And that is?
If you'd consent to a medical examination...
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed the story in the papers.
I beg yours?
The one about the government suspending what's left of our civil rights. A medical examination? Would you find my baby?
No, you don't understand. It is not compulsory.
No, it's just something I've got to do if I want help from the police. No, it's not compulsory at all. I have a child. She was born 2 weeks ago. This morning she was alive and she was breathing, and now she's gone.
So what you're trying to say is my wife's insane and I'm trying to cover up
You're
for
still
her.
not answering the question, Mr. James.
Because the question is outrageous. I want to see my
Will
wife.
you just answer the question,
Why
please?
are you separating us like criminals?
Sorry about that, mate. We won't keep you much longer. But I'll tell you what you can do for me, Warren. You can help me win a bet. A couple of pies at stake here. You remember that game of cricket you played against the Windies?
Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah, you're a legend, Dick. 6 of 46, 75 not out. Now, why didn't you make the test side that summer?
Because it's a bloody old boys' club and I don't brown nose anyone.
Good on you. You'd rather look after your own.
Just what are you getting at?
Mr. James, we understand you wanting to protect your wife, but what you have to understand is that making a false report to the police is a very serious matter.
I have nothing further to say. Now, can I see my wife or not? Thanks, Constable. We should be right now.
Would you like to come in?
No, look, the sergeant will want me back at the station.
Please, there's something I'd like to show you.
Okay, just for a minute.
Well, I'll go see about dinner, will I?
Why would I have all this if there's no baby?
Jeez, they really need a lot of looking after, don't they?
Ronnie will still need clean clothes when she gets back.
My wife Stacey keeps drawing up big lists of stuff we need.
They need a lot.
Well, she doesn't need to worry. I mean, my sisters have sent us enough stuff for 10 babies.
Your baby will need something new. Why? Take this. Hasn't been worn, it's not likely to be. It's blue. She's a girl. Please, take it.
Thanks. So is this what you wanted to show me?
It's rather a lot of trouble to go to for a delusion, don't you think?
Megan, if there was just someone else who'd seen your baby apart from you and Warren. Just anyone out in the street, a shop?
Well, there's the chemist. And we went there for a medicine.
Yeah? Did you take Bronwyn with you?
Yes. Check him out.
Baby? Nah, I didn't see her, baby.
Are you sure? She said she had it with her.
Yeah, well, she might have, but I mean, all I saw was a prank.
Is there anyone else who might have seen it, like an assistant?
No, I work it by myself.
A customer?
Ah, slow business day, sorry.
All right, what did she buy?
Disposable nappies, I think. Yeah, that's right, we had a sale on.
Right. Oh, have you had any unfamiliar customers in buying baby products at all?
Sorry, no, just the regulars.
All right, thanks, Satish.
So far, the biggest piece of evidence we've got is that harness we found in the backyard.
Yeah, and what about Warren? He was hedging like crazy, wasn't he?
Missing persons want to know if we still need them.
We'll keep them on standby. We'll look like dipsticks if they get up here and there's no baby.
Well, look, just as bad if you don't call them there is a baby.
Ooh, a nice little jumpsuit. You sure that's going to fit you?
I'm serious. Megan is obviously grieving. She's not putting it on.
What self-help book did you get that out of, Adam?
She's in pain.
Are you sure you're not over-identifying with her?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you know, just because you're having a baby, you want to believe her.
You really think I'm that stupid?
No, it's not being stupid, mate. It's being plucky, that's all.
It's crap,
That's
Nick.
enough. Now, the point is, no one is going to take this off our plate unless we can prove whether we've got an hysterical woman or a genuine kidnapping. And how are we going to go about that?
Well, why don't we put her under surveillance?
Oh, really?
We can check all the household rubbish and the garbage and stuff and see if there's baby things in it. Bye-bye. Okay, we've got a report from a neighbour. There's domestic at Megan and Warren's place. It sounds like a big one.
Megan, calm down. Megan, it's all right.
Just get out of here!
Calm down.
Come
Megan.
back!
Megan.
Go on, get out of here! Take all your stuff with you!
All right. Calm down. Calm down. Now, what's this all about? Power of attorney.
He wants me to sign over everything to him.
Hey?
He wants to get hold of my money.
What money?
Well, I'm a wealthy woman. Don't you see what's happening? He's trying to drive me crazy.
Oh, it's absolute rubbish. What else could I do? She's not living in the real world. Someone has to pay our bills.
Mate, she only lost the baby this morning.
It started a long time before this morning. She'd been having dreams again.
Dreams?
Yeah, about lights in the sky, aliens. The last time this
Mr.
happened...
James, your wife alleges that you're trying to drive her crazy to get hold of her money.
If Megan has another breakdown, it could take her months to recover. We rely on her income from her investments.
You got an income, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm a casual sports reporter for a country newspaper. How much do you reckon that brings in?
I've no idea.
Megan's wasn't the only career in tatters. Unfortunately, I couldn't sue anyone for wrongful dismissal.
You sound a bit resentful of that, Mr. Davies.
Mr. James?
What happened to you, Warren? Everyone thought you'd go into politics.
Yeah, everyone including me, but this alien business came along and the safe seat I'd been promised evaporated. No one from the party wanted to know me anymore.
Well, it must have been hard to take.
Well, yes and no. Looking after Megan was a full-time job, but she was successful in her court action against the newspaper company, so money wasn't a problem.
You must have been a bit resentful of the fact that you got all the money, though.
The point being?
The point being, did you abduct the baby?
You're accusing me of that?
No, I'm asking you, sir.
Oh, this is insane. I don't have to put up with this.
Did you take her baby, Mr. James?
There
yes
is
or
no baby. It's all a product of Megan's imagination. We'd been trying to have a child for years. We did all the tests. It was Megan who couldn't, well, she blamed the alien experiments.
So why didn't you tell us this before?
Because the power of delusion is fantastic. When she started wearing that contraption, well, I went along with it. I thought she'd snap out of it, but then the baby was born and I didn't want to see her humiliated again. I wanted to protect her. I love her.
No. No, I won't listen to
Megan.
any more of this. How could he be doing this to me?
Megan, your husband has made certain allegations.
Can't you see what he's trying to do? God, it's so obvious.
Nevertheless, it's our job to look into what he's saying.
He's got my baby.
No evidence
The
of
bastard's
that.
got
There's
my
no
baby.
evidence of that.
Right, Megan, we haven't dismissed that. We haven't dismissed anything.
Oh,
but
yes,
right
you
now,
have.
we've got to get to the bottom of these allegations. Now, we would like you to talk to a doctor.
No way.
It's entirely up to you, but it would help us to find out
Yeah,
what's
it'd
going
help,
on.
all right. It'd help get me out of the way. It'd help him steal my baby.
Megan,
Forget
Megan,
it. No
all right,
doctors.
Okay, look, your husband has said you've been having some dreams.
They've got nothing to do with this.
Are you denying it?
No, I'm not denying it, but haven't you ever had dreams?
Not been kidnapped by aliens, no.
That was no dream. Look, I had an experience. It was a bad experience. And I can't explain it, but I know it happened, and it took me a long time to get over it.
Okay, are you over it? You sure you're over it?
Maybe not. Look, I know what's real and what isn't. And the Close Encounter's got nothing whatever to do with my baby.
But you once thought that aliens made you infertile.
God, he told you that bastard. See, he'll stoop to anything.
Do you believe it?
I did believe it. But then I had a baby, and I just want it back. Please.
Megan, I've got the
Leave me
car.
alone.
Let me
There's
drive
nothing
you.
I want from you.
Megan, this is stupid.
Warren,
I'm sorry.
I'm not going home with you. In fact, it's my house, and you don't live there anymore. You can come and collect your things tomorrow. I'll put them on the porch.
Okay, if that's the way you want it.
I'll give you a lift home.
McKinley, you're due on patrol. Why don't you run Miss Davies home?
Yeah, sure. Miss Davies?
I would have taken her, boss.
Isn't your shift about finished?
Yeah, but I mean, she trusts me.
Now, just a word to you, Adam. You don't want them to become too dependent on you.
Them.
Yes, them. People have been abducted by aliens. I think the scientific word for them is fruitcakes.
Megan is not a fruitcake.
She's not a fruitcake despite all the evidence to the contrary.
Oh, what? Warren's evidence?
What's it done?
Apart from the fact that he's lied through his teeth?
Apart from the felt he's done for us is to look after her, put up with her.
He resents her money, he's jealous of her success.
He's jealous of the aliens who took his wife's brain.
All right, that's enough. PJ, what do you make of this?
Well, you've got to be suspicious of Warren's power of attorney.
Exactly.
On the other hand, Megan's not exactly stable, is she?
No, she's not.
So are we still looking for a baby or not?
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
Thank you very much. That clears things up nicely.
You see, the thing I really want to know is how does your average, everyday, hard-working extraterrestrial feed its young?
Beats me, mate.
I mean, you seen all those movies?
Yeah, Forbidden Planet, Robbie the Robot.
Robbie the Robot.
Yeah.
Hey, look, see, none of them have got any nipples. No aliens have any nipples. I mean, Robbie had a couple of knobs, but they don't count, do
I
they?
don't think you're very funny, Nick.
Don't you, Skywalker?
No, I don't. That poor woman's lost her baby and all you can do is make jokes about it.
A beer, thanks, Nick.
My shout, is it?
Sure is.
Okay.
Ginger
Want a
beer, thanks, mate.
Right, you're right, Ellie.
Don't let him get to you.
G'day, Christine Bridget Riley. 3 beers, thanks.
Coming up.
Good.
Oh, well, if it isn't my favourite copper, how's it going, mate?
No, mate, you know it's going.
Listen. I know you're on my side, and we men have got to stand up for ourselves,
mate, that's
right?
not how it
No,
works.
of course we do. See, bitches.
Sorry?
Well, I could have been in cabinet by now. Could have been the bloody Premier of bloody New South Wales, but she ruined my chances, that bitch.
There you go.
Yeah, another one here, thanks, love.
I think you've had enough, Mr. James. Now off to bed, otherwise I'll have to throw you out.
See, mate, they're all the same. All the bloody same. Bitch.
Look, Reg, I was just wondering if you could make a few discreet inquiries for me about this bloke James, Warren James. The cricketer, that's right. I know you've got a few political connections in your murky... Yeah, the all-rounder. Hey. Well, Reg, anything you can find out about this bloke would help me a bit. Yes, mate, good. Yes, I owe you one. Thanks a lot. Go on.
It's suspecting your hero of having feet of clay, are you?
He's not my hero, and I was just catching up with an old mate.
On the station phone, the boss will be very impressed.
Yes, well, all right. I mean, we don't know much about Warren's past, do we?
You going to tell Adam?
Tell Adam what?
Never mind that. There's a message for you.
Yeah.
Satish Rajan, that new chemist, wants to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
It was that comment you made about strangers coming into the store?
Someone's been in.
About 20 minutes ago, a young woman.
All right. Can you describe her for me?
Well, she had shoulder-length reddish-brown hair.
Yep.
Medium sort of height. Blue jeans, a loose kind of woolen sweater.
Yep.
Yeah, and a pair of those joggers.
Right, okay. And she bought baby products. Can you tell me what sort, exactly?
There was formula, baby Panadol, nappies.
Panadol?
Yeah, baby Panadol. You know, for fevers, colds, that sort of thing.
I know, thank you.
It's hardly what you'd call a definite lead. I mean, the description doesn't even fit anybody we've interviewed so far.
Yeah, but if Warren did take the baby, he'd need an accomplice, wouldn't he?
There's nothing to say this is her. Could be passing trade. She's 50 k's down the highway.
We should check it out.
I beg yours?
We should check it out, man. Didn't Megan say the baby had a cold?
Yesterday, you were convinced that the baby was a figment of Megan's imagination.
Yes, well, I just had a call from my source in New South Wales.
Oh, Reg.
Yes, Reg, and he's just given me a bit of info about Warren.
Oh, yeah? What, murky past?
No, just lazy, that's all. It was all right when it came to pressing the flesh, but he wouldn't work in an iron lung.
Hardly a great quality in an aspiring politician.
Now, the party was going to dump him. This alien thing just came as a handy excuse. He's been living off Megan since then. Looks like he's keen to continue.
Boss, we need to identify this woman in the chemist. Why don't we organise to do a photo fit with Satish Rajan?
It'll take a couple of hours, that's why.
Do you have a choice?
If we've got a missing baby and this woman's got anything to do with it, then Megan might know who she is.
On the way.
I'll go with him.
Megan? Megan, hello?
Right around the back.
Megan? Megan! 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 Hey, Nick, round here! Megan! Megan!
Well, we've done everything we can. It's pretty much up to her now.
I know she's been having bad dreams and hallucinations. But I never would have picked this. She seemed like such a fighter, you know?
If you ever work out a way to predict a suicide, Adam, you let me know, okay? You know, if you hadn't come along, she'd almost certainly be dead by now. She took a lot of tranquilizers.
Tranquilizers? But the bottle by her bed said sleeping pills.
Mild sleeping pills, yeah. She could have taken those too. We won't know for sure until the lab results come back on the contents of her stomach.
Thanks, Mr. James. I'll be in touch.
I'll be at the hospital.
Oh, by the way, how long were you at the house, sir?
It was 10 or 15 minutes. Had a coffee, talked about a few bills, and I left. How's the patient?
Could go either way. Zoe said she'd let us know.
Oh, excuse me, Constable, are you talking about my wife?
I'm talking about Miss Davies, yes.
Well, I'm on my way to the hospital now. Is there any news?
If you want to help, I'd stay away.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me.
You're the reason she's in hospital.
Now, you listen to me. Megan threw me out of the house. If she chooses to take sleeping pills, that's not my fault.
No, you set this up, didn't you?
You better be careful,
that's
son.
enough.
No, Sergeant, please, let him finish. You're all my witnesses.
All right. You want to sue? Go right ahead. I'm sure the courts will find Megan's attempted suicide as convenient as I do.
Yeah, well, you all heard that. This little bumwipe just accused me of trying to kill my wife.
Sorry, Warren. Occupational hazard deafness must have something to do with all the crap you listen to.
Bloody typical.
Cooper. Even by your standards, that was a pretty bloody stupid outburst.
I'm sorry, boss, but he got to me.
Oh, I see. Have you got any evidence at all that he tried to kill his wife apart from this idle speculation?
He said she took sleeping pills, and that's how it was set up. But she didn't. She OD'd on tranquilizers.
That doesn't mean a thing. Somebody's found unconscious on a bed. Sleeping pills are the first thing
But
that come
boss,
to mind.
think about it. She's lost her baby. The solution is finding it, not killing herself.
Well, she might have decided that things are hopeless.
I don't think she has. Now, if she hasn't attempted suicide, someone's had a go at her. He's the obvious suspect, and we're letting him go to the hospital to have another try.
You never know. You might be right.
All right. I'll call the hospital, make sure he's not left alone with her. You can pursue your line of investigation, but please, please at least try and find some shred of evidence.
Don't worry.
So if he lied to drive her crazy, maybe he's lying about there being no baby.
Oh, there's a baby, all right.
When we find the baby, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Well, he's obviously planned it pretty well. I just wonder what he's done with the poor little thing. Oh, a few possibilities that don't bear mentioning. Well, thankfully we've got no evidence that the baby is dead, and if she is alive, she's going to need 24-hour care.
Yeah, the woman in the chemist shop.
Yeah, I suppose if she is involved, she's going to need some accommodation. Isn't she a house or something?
OK, Dash, you and me will ring up the real estate agents and see if we can turn anything up.
You and I should have a look around Megan's place.
Right.
Do you want to check the kitchen? I'll check around the rest of the place.
Hey, Max.
Yep.
I just found tranquilizers prescribed to Warren James. Only a couple left.
So you're saying?
Well, he said they had coffee. I reckon he's put them in that.
Well, that's interesting, because there's a stain here and down here which could be coffee, which she may have spilt when she collapsed.
Couple cups here. They've been washed.
No, that's all right. Because to clean down that table, he would have used a cloth to wipe it down. Listen, do you want to go and grab the cloth and I'll get the cups and the Wedex and we'll send it up to forensic?
Pleasure.
We figured it'd be worth checking out this stuff for traces of tranquilizers.
We'll get them to try for prints on the cups at the same time.
I'll check with the real estate agents. There's no one answering the chemist's description of the girl.
You might try private rentals. Have a look through some back copies of the Gazette.
Yeah, righto.
In the meantime, anything could be happening to this baby.
We should talk to Warren again. What's that going to do? We haven't got anything until the forensic results come through.
Shake him up, get him to do something stupid.
All right. He's at the Imperial, isn't he?
Who is it? Senior Detective Hasham, open the door, please.
What the hell are you doing in here? To get out!
It's Davies.
And what would you be doing here?
Warren and I are in love. We've been trying to stay away from each other so as not to hurt Megan. When I got his phone call the other day, I just
fell into his arms again. How romantic.
You could be cynical if you like. I'm telling the truth.
This was an elaborate scheme to convince Megan she's gone bonkers, wasn't it?
Oh.
No? Well, why don't you do yourself a favour? Because if this is Warren's idea, you should tell us now.
It would make it much easier on you.
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about.
The longer that baby is away from its mother, the greater the risk.
There is no baby. There never was.
You could be on very serious charges.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we should try attempted murder and kidnapping for starters.
Attempted murder?
Yeah. You see, when you couldn't con the money out of Megan, you tried to kill her instead, didn't you?
Oh, look. I never agreed to be a part of any murder.
Go on.
There's nothing to go on about.
A Wedex. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. James, this morning you made your wife a cup of coffee and you spiked it with drugs. Now, when she passed out, she knocked over the coffee and used this to wipe it up.
And that sponge, that's your evidence?
Well, once it gets back from the lab, it's all we'll need.
Well, even if you find traces of drugs, anyone could have done it.
Perhaps you'd care to explain this.
Yes, we found them in your bathroom cabinet, and they're prescribed to you.
Well, sure they're prescribed to me. Megan started taking them when she was having these weird dreams. I mean, I didn't make her. It's got nothing to do with me.
You did it. I know it, and you know it. So why don't you just tell us where the baby is, and we'll let the magistrate know that you cooperated.
All right. If you have the evidence, arrest me. Otherwise, I want to go.
Zoe, got your message. How is she?
She's still asleep. The vital signs are stable. She should be awake any time. No, yesterday you mentioned that Megan had been hallucinating.
Yeah, well, she'd been seeing lights and having bad dreams.
Yeah,
stuff
well, I'm
like
not
that.
at all surprised. The lab results came back. There's strong traces of antihistamines and alcohol in her blood. All in all, it's a pretty freaky cocktail.
Well, it looks like he was feeding Megan tranquilizers and stuff over a long period of time.
The object being, if I've got this right, to give her hallucinations and drive her mad.
Yeah, but that's not enough, is it? You'd need something to trigger the hallucinations. I mean, what do you do if you want someone to see lights from an alien spacecraft?
You go to Good Times.
Dr. Hamilton.
It's the party light place in St David's.
Yep.
Come on, boss, you'd know that.
Just check it out, please, McKinley.
How's the hospital?
Warren came around to say he was sorry, to beg forgiveness.
And you let him in?
I didn't want to. Then he hinted he might have Bronwyn, so I thought I'd play along, see what I could find out.
So he came in and made you a cup of coffee?
Last I remember till I woke up here.
Police, don't move!
He left the Imperial without checking out and without paying his bill. Last seen half an hour ago.
Okay,
Boss?
PJ, keep us in... stand by, PJ.
We've just matched a rented farmhouse with a description of a woman from a chemist.
Good work, Doyle. Mount Thomas Station, Mount Thomas 509.
Approaching farmhouse now. Going code 5. He's mine. Hold it there, Mr. James.
I suggest you hand over the baby, Karen.
How's that?
Pretty much stuff, Warren. Now, the girl that Karen roped into this, she gave us these. Now, you took these from the house when you kidnapped young Bronwyn, didn't you?
All right, I took the baby. But you still can't stick me with an attempted murder charge.
Is that what you reckon, Warren? Tell me, mate, what do you know about lighting?
Now, what sort of question's that?
You rented a set of lights from St David's last week, didn't you?
I had a photo shoot for the newspaper.
And the Gazette will confirm that. Will they, Warren? Will they confirm that, mate?
These were disco lights, weren't they? The sort of thing you used to put on a show. Now, if you were stupid enough and doped up enough, you know what they might look like? They might even look like a visitation from outer space.
Add that to the wettest we found in the sink, the tranquilizers in your cabinet, Warren. Just doesn't look good. And there's Megan's evidence. Now, I just cannot understand how you could do that to the woman you loved, mate.
Woman, what a joke. Look, have you any idea what it was like having to go
tell us, what was it
cap in
like?
hand every time I needed a new article of clothing?
What was it like?
Everything I took was mine anyway.
Everything, mate?
The baby belonged to me.
You and Megan.
Well, that's where you're wrong. Megan set the whole thing up. Everything had to be as close to natural as possible. The baby had to be conceived normally. She absolutely insisted on it.
What are you saying, Warren? Get on with it.
Megan is not the baby's mother. Karen is.
The agreement was that I would have the baby and Megan would bring her up as her own.
What do you get out of it?
I wanted to go to university and study.
Right, so Megan pays your fees and you have a baby for her.
Except after I had Bronwyn, first time I held her, I just knew I couldn't give her up. She's mine. Nothing in the world can change that.
Why couldn't you have gone to Megan and said the deal's off? Why did you have to lie and steal?
Because I was entitled. Because she's not my bloody sister. She's my mother. I know. It was a hell of a shock to me when I found out too, but it's true, I checked it.
How did you find out?
Warren told me. I was already pregnant, but we were still seeing each other. Why didn't she have the guts to tell me? How could a mother do that?
What do you think of my little girl? Isn't she gorgeous?
Yeah, she's beautiful. Megan,
Listen, I didn't have a chance to thank you before. You were the one person that actually stood by me,
Megan,
had faith.
there's someone who wants to see you.
You, what are you doing here?
Come find the baby.
No.
Megan, as a child's natural mother.
No, I'm sorry, I can't give her up. Now she's mine. I'm not going to give her up. If it hadn't been for me, she would never have been born.
Gave birth to her, you or me.
No, I'm not giving her up. I had to give up one child, I'm not giving up this one.
You rejected one, baby. I wanted to say you're not going to reject this one too.
I didn't reject you. I had no choice.
Dumped me with your mother and then went off to chase a career. How do you think that made me feel?
I know it was the most painful thing I've ever had to do.
Did you want me to suffer the same pain?
I just wanted the chance to be a mother.
You are a mother.
My mother. And I'm hers.
Can't give up my baby.
My baby.
You can't both have her.
Megan, as you'd know, the courts are more likely to give the baby to its natural mother.
And then you will have lost both of them.
How'd you go at the hospital, Edzo?
Chris, can I have another one, please?
Good, eh? Never mind, mate. You're on the right track.
She lied to me.
Well, you know, mate, you're just a copper. You don't have to be King Solomon.